All right. Hello, Jasmine sub members or anybody else who's watching this. This is Jesus Skywalker, and I'm just going to do I don't know, I guess a little tutorial here for this indicator right here. On TradingView, this is called TDI plus RSI divergence. So you can add this on your TradingView by just going here to indicators and searching for that. And what was it? It's TDI plus RSI. TDI, this one right here. Traders Dynamic Index plus RSI divergence. Okay. So I have that panel set up on here, and basically my whole goal with this is to make your decision making for selling and buying a little bit easier. And I'm going to try to break this down a little bit and show you. Okay, so this is on the daily time frame. So each one of these candles is a day. All right. And when you use this indicator here, you'll see that you have these sharp points. This red line here, I put this here. I put it it's at 73 right now. And this green one down here, I have at like 50. Now, the numbers that you have these set at will have to change depending on your time frame, because like if you're looking for something to get to a certain point on a lower time frame, it's probably not going to get there as frequently. And sometimes your apex move does not record the same way on lower time frames. I'll show it in a little bit. But anyway, you see these points here. This red line is your sell zone. So the most basic way to do this is on the daily time frame. Like if you want to do as minimal an amount of profit taking as possible, if you don't want to get yourself caught up in a bunch of buying and selling, but you do want to take some profits or start learning how to take some profits, this is the easiest way in my opinion. It's not the most efficient way. Like when you are using such a big time frame, like your results are going to be kind of laggy. I mean, you'll be able to see the candles going as the day goes on, but if you're making a decision on a daily candle, the candle should be finished. If you're not going to wait for the daily candle to finish, then you should be using a lower time frame anyway. So because of that, you can have some lag. Like right here, this candle in one day shot up from 4 cents all the way up to 6. Okay, that was one day, did a 50% move. All right, so it can also move down that same way. So imagine you're waiting for this whole candle to print before deciding if you want to close your position or something like that. I mean, 50% move, you don't want to miss that move. So for that, I would say to go to a lower time frame, but I'm going to explain this in a minute, because if you're following this on the daily time frame, when this when this peak forms here, you're not seeing it as it happens, but it'll still look like this. Okay, so when you're looking over here, let me make this bigger so you can see it. When you're looking here, you can see that this is tracking hard. And this blue line, this is a volatility band. This green line, this is price. And so as you're seeing this ramp up and it leaves this volatility band and it's above your red line, which is your sell zone. Once it starts getting in here, you got to pay attention. You maybe need to drop down some time frames so that you see this happen faster. Because right after this is when you get, right here, by the time this daily prints, you see this shark fin right here, and it's above your sell line. It's outside of your volatility band. For me, this is a snap sell. Like, for me, this is something I would just ship my whole position over. But it's not what I recommend for you, because you're less confident. Like, I know that when I sell, I'm fine with it. I don't give a shit if it goes up again. If I was wrong, that's fine. I'm wrong. This point here means I made money. That's all I care about. I made money right here. If I end up being wrong, that sucks, man. I wish I was right, but I'm telling you, if you see this and you sell, you're going to be right most of the time. And most of the time, and I mean, you should be in a position of profit. I mean, this is a fucking huge move up. I mean, this was the current, like, highest point. So unless you're from, like, way back last cycle when you got trapped at, like, 17 cents and you never moved down or something, then, you know, I mean, you might not be in profit there. But, I mean, if you've bought any time in the last few years, you're great in profit here. So if you sell this and miss, I mean, you still won. Quick grind. So anyway, from there, so this is what I want to point out. What I would recommend for you guys that are new is when you see this, that's 25%. When you see this right here, where price crosses over this red line, on a big time frame, like on a daily or 8 hour, 4 hour, this is another 25%. Okay. When you see price cross over this orange line on a big time frame, that's where you close your position. That's where I would have advised going ahead, moving into cash, and just waiting. Okay, so you got 25 here, and then 50 here. All right, so looking at the results of this and how you would have done would have meant you'd have sold on this point. So just to be fair, we're going to go to the low of it. Say you would have gotten somewhere in there. Okay? Actually, you know what? It prints on this candle. So on this candle, we'll say that. See, you got it right there. So you sold 25% at 5. And then right here, when this candle forms, so you got to go to this one. You just sold another 25% right there. Let's change that color a little bit so it sticks out. Let's maybe change this one. All right, so you got two cells right there. And then right here when it crossed over, that was going to be this day. So then you closed your position here. Now it's not too red. All right. So, I mean, on your last, on this breakout here, would you have been happy getting 25% of your money out at 50 cents, or 5 cents, then like 0.49, and then down to like 0.41? I mean, those are outstanding. Like, you get out with that, you're going to make some good money. That's really good. I mean, then when you look down here on the bottom, you're looking for it to be below this green line, so that I have set to 50 on this time frame. You could move that down some, maybe. I think I had this set on a higher time frame, so I would say that you can move it down maybe to 45-ish. And like, all you're looking for down here is below this green line for these shark fins, especially if they do something like this where they break out of the volatility band. Like when you're below this is a buy all day. All right, this is a buy. Well, I mean, this didn't poke out. Right here, great buy. Okay? And that's just looking at this. I'm not even, like, if I wasn't even looking at the chart, if I had the chart just, like, down to nothing, and I could see that, like, this was an outstanding place to buy. This was an outstanding place to buy. This was an outstanding place to buy. And then, like, when we look at the chart, look, bam, look, bam, look, bam. I mean, those are all your buy zones. And then, like, doing the same thing again, put chart away, and then that's a good sell. That's a good sell. That's a good sell. And look, sell. Now this sell right here, this would have been an area where you would have had to recognize that, you know, that it was going on. You might have taken a small loss here, but even if you sold right here, I mean, you'd get it back in right here. So, I mean, you would have got back in right here. You'd have kind of broke even on this, because this was the one time where, I mean, it registered being a little bit more volatile. But this was also because, oh shit, hold on. God damn it, man, I hate when it does that. Jesus Christ, where's that? Okay, fuck it. All right, so the reason that this one, I believe, is off so much is because this move is so monumental. I mean, this move is like, I mean, when you're looking at it now, you don't realize how big of a move that is, but like this shit's like, that's 500% just right there. So that's a huge goddamn move. So yeah, this one, it threw the volatility off a little bit, but there was still plenty of room in here to make a lot of money. I mean, like, that looks smaller than what it is, but like, if you sold in this apex here, I mean, this is like, that's 30%, that's 20%. I mean, all I'm gonna say is this: like, you cannot fully just only use this. You need to, like, use a little bit of common sense too. Like, you need to look at the chart and see if what you're seeing here aligns. Now I'm telling you, on the daily time frame, it's gonna align. But what I would do is I would drop down to something like the 4-hour time frame. All right, so this is a 4-hour time frame, so a lot more accurate. Now, like right here, if you're doing it on the 4-hour time frame, drop it down a little bit. Maybe instead of taking, like 20% or 25%, maybe you take like 20, something like that. Maybe 10, 15. So whatever you're comfortable with. But I'm just saying, like, if you're using a lower time frame, just be a little bit more careful and be a little bit more aware that it's possible that you could, get out a little bit early. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be I pointed out before, if you sold here, this is the same line that was on the daily time frame. So, like, if you sold here on this because you got this indicator, you sold 20% there, and then you sold 20% here, and then when this crossed right here, you sold your another 20%. Then right here, where this crosses, this is where you would close your position. Now you have 3 sells and above or near 5 cents. And then this one that you got a little bit early, like I said, you can't be afraid to be a little bit wrong. You can't be afraid that if you sell 20% and this fucking runs on you that you're like, bro, you have 80% in still. You just took on a spot where you still made money. You know, instead of making $10, you made $5. Okay, whatever. You know, so like, anyway, that's basically the gist of the indicator. When you're using the smaller time frames, like I said, you're gonna want to adjust these because, like, if you have them this high, I mean, you're almost never gonna get a good sell. Or you're like, I mean, you'll get like the one great sell that you want. I mean, if you want to like do it as little as possible, then you want to have these out here. I'm just saying that, like, there's going to be times where you might miss shit because if you have this set too high, there'll be times where where it doesn't come into where you're wanting, but it ends up being a good spot to have either bought or sold. I would say generally on the 4-hour time frame, I mean, just about any spot where it breaks out of the volatility band and then like goes back in, especially when it's real sharp like this, very good spot to buy. Very good spot to buy all of these. And like, you can see it where it lines up on the chart right up here. I mean, these were all good buy points. And then also, like, if you drop this down a little bit to maybe say like 60 for this time frame, like if you want to be aggressive, set this lower, and then you can use like these as sell points, you know. But like when you're doing these, don't ship your bag. Just like, you know, like when it's like low time frame, don't ship your bag. Just, you know, do it a little bit at a time. If you're doing it on the daily, you can be like, you know, a little bit more deliberate with your, you know, with your buys and sells. When you're buying back in, I mean, honestly, this, like, okay, so this is where I'm a little bit torn, because if you want to do it correct, like if you want to do it like where you're trying to like really do it like professional, then you would like do like your 20% here, your 20% when it breaks. Oh man. Damn. Well, my wife just called and I completely lost where I am, so I'm gonna just try to see what I'm got going on here. All right, so yeah, all these spots down here, these were all spots where you could buy back in, and you're looking for these pinpoints here. Like I said, if you use the daily time frame, it's fine, but like for me, I mean, I gotta take advantage of stuff like this. Like, now the thing is that for me, I'm not really relying on this. Like, I'm looking at the candles. Like, this candle right here already would have, you know, shown me something. But I'd be looking at an even smaller time frame. I'd be looking like here on the 1 hour. And like this candle here, that's like suspect as fuck, man. Like, if this were, if I was trading Jasmine on like a daily basis like that, like that's a sell all day for me. And that's not even like right here. It's you know, super obvious that like it was going to be a sell, but I didn't even need to look down here because this candle told me everything I need to know. This candle's all the way at the top of this formation, bright ass green. Big vector candle, and snaps straight back down with the pink vector. That, yeah, that's a bad, you know, change in momentum there. And you know, the opposite down here, like you got this coming outside of the volatility band, snapping back up, but in here you have vector, 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 big tails to the downside. I mean, this is where you'd see some moving away here. But that's basically it, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope it didn't last too long. And I guess I'll just talk to you guys in the comments. All right. Thank you. See you later.